Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Okay, two, three things are making me nervous, so let's rectify that. One is the lighting. I don't like Mahesh. Can you have more lights on me? Yeah, please. I don't like this vampire strikes again kind of a that's better. And is it cold or am I feeling cold? It's very cold. I'm nervous because of it. And the third is, can you just remove the intelligent expressions on your face? You're all looking very intelligent. That's making me very nervous. So be normal. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. Um, Ajay asked me that you should speak, so I had heard about TED. I told my father this morning that I'm going for TEDx. He said, say hi to him. What's wrong with you, Dad? He had never heard of TEDx. I had not heard of for last 2 years back. 2 years back, somebody showed me in IIM Ahmedabad. I had gone for a lecture, so somebody showed me some frightening machines they had invented. So I said, why do you want me to speak? He says, maybe we didn't get any other actors. Was that the reason that you got me? Or Mahesh is a friend of mine. So he said, chalo, we'll get through to some. No, basically, my theory is, or my point of view is basically what I think is the most powerful thing that you can be is being yourself. I think that's the most difficult thing in the world, and the easiest thing in the world is to be yourself. And I've lived my life trying to do that. For that, I'll have to go back and forth. I don't have a very cohesive, fixed ideas, so my talk will go berserk, but just don't put on an intelligent expression. That's all. That's when I'll get very nervous. I get also frightened with this machinery kind of a thing. It doesn't work. Sometimes it works. So I come from a small town called Simla. I went to a Hindi medium school. My father was a clerk in the forest department. There was nothing special about us, or there is nothing special about us. And the only thing that I had was dreams. And dreams also not of wanting to become somebody in life, but dreams about something. How can I be different from others? How can I be different from somebody who has better clothes, who is very good at sports, who is very good at studies? I was not very good at studies. I was very bad at sports. In fact, once my PT teacher saw me running, and he said, even if you run alone, you will come second. It took me 3 days to recover from that. In fact, for 3 days, I was thinking, how is it possible to come second, even if I run alone? Till today, I have not figured out. But maybe he had a very good example. What I had was the most amazing family. We were in a 8x10 room, very small, and a lot of people used to stay together. My grandparents, my aunt, my bhua, unke bacche, etc., etc., etc. And they were all characters. They were various funny characters. One of my uncle, he had a small Charlie Chaplin kind of a mustache. And he used to get angry, so he used to shut his eyes. And he married a younger girl. So when he used to shut his eyes and he used to speak in Kashmiri, that wife of his used to play a game. She used to go away from his eyesight. So if he's getting angry in Kashmiri and says, she will move from here. And he will open his eyes and he will not find her there. So that will be a moment of realism. And then he'll turn and he'll get again angry and and she will move from here. So that was a great piece of acting for me. My father had this strange habit of looking somebody's face early in the morning. My father, as I said, was a lower division clerk, so he got a 50 rupees lottery ticket and he was promoted on a particular day. At that day, he had seen the face of a person who gets that double roti, that pav, early in the morning in Simla. So he decided that this is because of this guy. So he started telling my brother and me, go and find him every day and bring him home because I have to see his face first. And everybody was sleeping on the floor. So 6 o'clock, that man used to say double roti, and he had to go like this. find out first. And me and my brother were very completely nervous about it. Because it was his job, our job to find him. So we got bored. In small town, you get bored very easily. So what we used to do at 2:33 in the morning, only used to say double roti, and my father used to get up and sort of start looking for him. I'll come back to you why I'm telling you these stories. I had this most frightening experience of my mother waking me up early in the morning. My ghar ka name is Bittu. So, and I was very bad at studies, I told you. So she, in a monotonous voice, used to say, Bittoot, 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 Bittoot. So much so that instead of getting up at 7:15, I used to get up at 7 o'clock. Don't say Bittoot! 3 years back, I was in Delhi and I had to travel to Simla, so my mother was staying with me in the hotel. So we had to catch this Shatabdi Express, which was to leave at 7:45. So I put the room service, I said, please call me up at 7:15. At 6:30, I'm hearing, Bittoot. I said, Mama, please don't do this to me. My grandmother, she was 4 feet 5 inches. She used to go off to sleep by singing lullaby to us, herself. That was the most monotonous lullaby in the world. It used to go something like this. Don't go to sleep, please. No, but it was my grandmother who used to go to sleep. She'll go like this, and we will all sit down and wait for her to go to sleep. And the lullaby is for us. In the Chinese, my niece, Chinese. I had another uncle who was very fond of speaking in English. He was frighteningly bad in English. By the way, I went to a school where ABC was taught in 5th standard. So he used to tell me constantly, you must read editorials. Why editorial? He said, editorial padhne se Angrezi aati hai. So I used to read editorial in a Tribune paper. And my principal in my school knew that I wanted to speak in English. By the way, I learned speaking in English when I came to Bombay, which was about 25 years back. I still try and get nervous while talking. So my principal said that Princess Durgavati of Lakhanpur, who was the main donor of our school, she used to be our chief guest every year. She said, she's coming and you have to give the welcome speech. Will you speak in English? So I said, but mujhe to aati nahi hai, sir. He said, don't worry, I will give you a speech in English. You mug it up. And there are 15 days, I'm sure you will give a very good speech. And on top of it, my uncle used to say, reads editorials. So I was mixing up both the speeches, editorials and my principal speech. So actually in the 9th standard, when I gave a welcome speech in honor of Princess Durgavati of Lakhanpur, I said something like this, because it was a mixture of editorial and the speech. There's an exaggeration in it, but it's 90% truth. Ladies of the gentlemen, I would have to, could have to understood a few homogeneous words in kind condolence of Princess Durgavati of Lakhanpur. The infection of the great constipation in the large intestine of mankind, which is being spread in pregnancy by her flirting excellency, that is why I'm shivering in high frequency. Her divine grace is a mental case, so I will pay my homage to her highness with great amount of shyness that you came into our school, that is God's nature. Sometimes I look at you, sometimes I have furniture. My principal had a heart attack after 3 days and the donation stopped. But what I had was the capability and capacity to dream, of wanting to be different, of wanting to be in this mediocre, lower middle class scenario, wanting to do something in life, wanting to have this passion that what can I do? I was bad at studies, you saw the result of sports. So what I started doing, I started copying my teachers to only look different from other people. So they used to say, "Arey, go and get that boy who copies teachers." And on top of it, I used to inscribe my name on my benches and say, Anupam Kher sat here. I had guts. I said, many years later, if somebody sits on this bench, he will read that Anupam Kher sat here. I used to change in the book of famous people born in March. I used to add my name, Anupam Kher, 7th March. So dreaming is the most important factor. And then I ran away from my house for an interview because my father said, you have done your graduation, now go and join forest department. There was nothing wrong in that. My father was not the greatest scholar. He had simple thoughts. He used to laugh the most at my school plays. Even at tragedies, he thought it was a comedy. Until once I fainted on stage. People say that you are born actors. There's nothing called born actors. My first play was a disaster. I was the fairest guy in the class. I was in 5th standard, and I was given the main role of Prithviraj Chauhan. You know Prithviraj Chauhan's story? Prithviraj Chauhan was in love with Sanyukta. Sanyukta was Jayachand's sister. And in the play, I had to defeat him thrice with a sword, and he had to fall down. Now, Jayachand was being played by Nand Kishore. Now, Nand Kishore was at least 7 times fatter than me, and I was much, much thinner than this. I used to, in fact, say something very funny about this. I'm so thin that I can see through a keyhole with both my eyes. So, Jayachand was Nand Kishore, and I was Prithviraj Chauhan. The curtain opened. For some strange reasons, Jayachand's family was on one side, and Kher family was on the other side. Thin, starving looking people, good expression in eyes, कि हमारा बेटा पहला प्ले कर रहा है, and fat, humongous, मूछों वाले, दूध वाले सारे इस तरह बैठे थे. So my dialogue was, चला जाना बकवास कर तू नंदू गिर. Nandu fell down. चला जाना बकवास कर तू नंदू गिर. Nandu fell down. Third time I said, चला जाना बकवास कर तू. Suddenly, audience, Nand Kishore's father got up and he says, Nandu, आपके गिरा तो घर ना आइयो. History changed. Nand Kishore picked up Anupam Kher and threw in the audience. So actors are not born. Not born at all. That's why I run an acting school. That's planting my school. Okay, so I got a job in forest department as a clerk. Then I said, but this is not what I want to do. I'm 20, I'm 19, 20. What do I do? Dreams, again dreaming. I saw an ad in a newspaper which said that, okay, come to Chandigarh, and if you get selected, you will be given a scholarship. So I stole some money, it's in my play, so I'll just cut short. I gone into the Department of Indian Theatre in Chandigarh, and the first time I discovered there are books on acting and on theatre and on cinema. I'd never heard about that. That dream finished. That's a gold medal kind of a thing happened. Graduation, 38% marks. And then I wanted to be something else. The idea was always to be different from somebody else. So I went to Department of Drama in Delhi, did a training from there, and as always it happens, fell in love with somebody, got distracted, ran away from there, joined Haridwar, went to Rishikesh ashram, shaved my head completely, thinking that okay, I'll leave everything. Ran away from there also, went to Nainital and discovered that one of my teachers is doing a theatre workshop. This is when I was running away from my school, my drama school. I was on the run and had this complete shaved look. I used to have a black t-shirt and black trousers, and I used to do theatre exercises in the drama workshop. In theatre exercise, they do ha, 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 ha for your lungs and for your speech. So outside, 2-3 people thought that I was a judo karate champion. So when I came out, he says, "Ji, hame bhi sikhaoge?" I said, "Kya?" He said, "Judo karate." Now I did not want to sort of disillusion them, and I thought this was very sexy that they were asking me that I'm a judo karate champion thing. So I am walking on the street of, if you have gone to Nainital, there's a very long kind of a Nainital ke aaspaas wo railings hi hain, and you go on across the railing, etc. So I was walking, and they're walking behind me like the puppies. My God, this is a judo karate champion. And I'm thinking, this wooden piece, if it's somewhere not so hard over here, if I give a chop here, and if I break this, they will fall on my feet. So I'm looking at it, and I found some place, it was eaten by those demak, etc. And I tested it. I said, okay, if I go this like this, it's going to break. Just for attention. Dreams of wanting to be different. I did not know that there was an iron railing underneath. So this is my place. And I said, so I was never ever scared of making an ass of myself. Never. Came to Bombay, bald, thin. This is a very sexy bald look, by the way. But when you're balding at that stage, half the hair have gone from here, half are gone from here. You're doing crisscross cut. You're worried about fans. You're worried about AC. You're worried about putting the taxi, this mirror, this glass down. You're talking to people like this because you're going against the wind, and you're walking there. So I was in that stage, and I had the guts to become an actor. So almost 90% people, assistant directors, you say, "Apni shakal dekhi hai?" And you all say, "Haan, bilkul dekhi hai." So I decided that I don't want this crisscross cut. I hope nobody has it here. Please cut it. Please cut it right now if you have it. Do you know if the crisscross cut is horrifying? You suddenly, if the wind becomes cruel, it stands like this, and you see the helipad like that. 3 minutes already. That's horrifying. I've just started. Anyway, so what I'm trying to come to is the failure is the best thing that can happen to you. That's what my point is. Failure is the one thing that can teach you much more interesting things about life. Success is very boring. Success makes you pompous. Success makes you, it gives you a certain kind of stance. It's failure, if you take it in the right attitude, makes you a much more learned person. It makes you much more real person. My point is, there is a very good person in you, and there is a very pretentious person in you. People who pretend don't like themselves. If you want to like yourself, stop pretending. I have learned maximum from my failures. It also has taken away the fear of trying to impress people. If you are yourself, what can maximum do? At least you know yourself. But in this today's time, everybody is trying to make you feel underachiever. Whether it's media, whether it's marketing, you're always made to feel that somebody else is better than you. Meri shirt aapki shirt se zyada safed hai. To me, you are the most powerful person for yourself. To me, you are the answer to your own questions. If you're trying to be somebody else, it's too tiring. First of all, you do not know the other person that you are trying to be. It's fantastic when you go into these executive classes of British Airways or Kingfisher and Jet Airways, you find these very Thai kind of people, you know, well-gelled kind of a thing with Economic Times in their hands. And they will sit down and they'll say, can I have some black coffee, please? And they will ignore you. There's an actor sitting next to you. They will say, I do not see Hindi movies, so I don't know who you are. And they will take out their laptop, and I can't see those figures. I can't understand what they're doing. And they'll do that. And there will be another person who will be talking to them, and they will crack some strange jokes. And then he will think that I have not spoken to this person for a long time. And then he will say, going to Delhi? Is this aircraft going to Delhi? I'm not. So, you are the power. You as an individual are the power. Stop pretending. Be yourself. That's the best thing that has happened to you. I was also told that you can ask me questions. Do we still stand for that? I break the rule. You can ask me questions.
We'll take one question if anyone has a question in the audience. So
Yes. Hi. Morality of who? My morality? I think it's very easy to give a very, very pretentious answer. I think we all follow our own morals. I think what morals that we have in our homes, we don't practice them. We always constantly saying the things which the other person wants to hear. It happens a lot on television debates. We actually do not believe in certain things. I think everybody is comfortable. What makes you comfortable is your morality. Of course, I come from a family where I'm told ye paap hai, ye acha nahi hai, ye acha nahi hai, ye theek nahi hai, etc., etc. So I try and stick to that. But otherwise, everything it's your own choice. Thank you very much. Take care. All the best.